Oh, yes. Okay, there we go. That's a great way to start off. That just goes to show you, you never know what happens when you're live. When you're live, and I don't know if you see all these people down here. We're going to be talking about these people a lot. I'm excited. Look, this is Entertainment Flash, Season 4, Episode 1. But it goes further than that. This is the top 100 songs of all time. It took me a year to do this. You know, I think I did a little more research than Rolling Stone did. Um, and I started this after seeing that list of their top 500. And I was like, well, how does some of those songs even sniff the top 500, right? So I decided, let me do this. I'm going to go and I'm going to do the top 100 songs right. Right. Yes. Thank you, Kenny, for being here. 2024 has begun, and this is the list that I think everybody's going to use from now on. And I did a lot of research. First of all, you're not making this list unless there's really something genius about the songs on this list. And I will explain some of them. You're going to be surprised, but I'm right. I'm right about this. And you make your comments, you do what you need to do. But this is way better than any list that is out there. I've looked at all of the lists and I just shook my head and I'm like, these people have no clue at all. So all these songs made this list, and let me tell you, there was a ton of them that were contenders. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna give like some honorable mention kind of things. So these songs will not be on the top 100, if you can believe that. Okay, so some of them that made the final cut, what I'd say, Ray Charles, Thunder Road, Bruce Springsteen, Smells Like Teen Spirit did not make my list. Faith, George Michael, What's Going On? Oh, the classic. The classic. Fame, David Bowie did not make the list. Enter Sandman, My Generation, even Natural Woman did not make the list. And one big glaring song did not make the list, and that was Billie Jean. And now I will start hearing the comments. Billie Jean is not in the top 100 of all time. So sorry, they're fans of that song. Did not make the list, but they're all, great songs, but did not make the list. And here comes yep, Kenny, I know. Billie Jean, Michael Jackson did not make the list. Did not make the list. It just wasn't good enough. First of all, yeah, how could I? Okay, let me explain Billie Jean. Okay, first of all, the lyrics are not that good. I'm reading the lyrics first, and for the most part, it really doesn't even make any sense. Okay, it's just jibber jabber, right? Look, the beat is great, great song, love it, love the song. One of Michael Jackson's best songs, as far as just enjoying it. But like my favorite band, Huey Lewis and the News, I do not have one song from Huey Lewis and the News there. Doesn't mean I don't like the songs, just means that they're not musically genius. That was not a musically genius song by Michael Jackson. But Kenny, there is some Michael Jackson on this list. There is. Just not Billie Jean. So, I mean, when you think about it, Billie Jean's a great song, big monster hit, right? Monster hit. But it wasn't good enough. And the sad part is, you're going to be upset, Kenny, because Number 100 is Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. And look, the music is, it's 80s, but the vocals on it were pretty damn good. And I gotta say, the lyrics is what put this song on this list. The lyrics of the song put this on the list. Okay. Look, new wave, synth pop, all the synthesizers, and there probably isn't even a real instrument on the thing. Um, but the but it was written and it was good, and it did hit number one on the Billboard and Cashbox charts. Okay. So it's not like it wasn't loved, because everybody loved this song, right? But the lyrics itself were just so good, and you think about it, like, that song is still pretty popular today. It's still played, and and it is. It's a good song, and the lyrics are so great. Musically not genius, but lyrically it is, and that's why this song made it on number 100, because it's just meant a lot to a lot of places. And it's like you still hear it today because of, like, all the wars and stuff like that. And the song written by Roland Orzabal, Ian Stanley, I almost call him Stanky, Ian Stanley and Chris Hughes. 1985 big monster hit for Everybody Wants to Rule the World. And I put that at number 100. It deserves to be there, because those lyrics are just, like I said, so good that I had to put them there. So that's where we start, and we got a bunch of people watching. Please comment on the songs. Number 99. Redemption Song, Bob Marley, The Wailers, from 1980. The song written by Bob Marley for his album Uprising. Look, when you think of, like, reggae and Jamaica and all the kinds of music that you hear from the islands, it begins and ends with Bob Marley, right? And there was no way. I mean, I could probably choose a ton of songs from him, and they'd all be good enough to be on this list. But Redemption Song is the one that made it through to the top 100. Like the line, "Emancipate yourself from mental slavery." Like, you think about, where he's from and all the things that, is you're supposed to be doing, and the things that is, that governments tell you. Well, this guy wrote about that constantly, and basically rebelling towards that kind of thinking. And I thought the message in the song was so powerful, and the lyrics were great. Of course, the song is good. The song is great too. So, Redemption Song, Bob Marley, made the list. Made the list. That's only the beginning. It's only the beginning. It's only the beginning. So there's a bunch of people out there watching right now. Please comment, comment, comment. We're gonna go 98. 98. Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf. You still hear the song on commercials still, right? Born to Be Wild. It has that psychedelic kind of music to it, and the it's like one of the early heavy metal songs. Even though you look at it today, it's not really considered heavy metal, but the guitar in that was just absolutely incredible. But think about this song and how it's basically sung and done up. This song was originally written to be a ballad. A ballad. And Mars Bonfire, just kept developing that song, and before you know it, you had this rock classic, Born to Be Wild, 1968. right? 1968 stood the test of time. It's still one of the best songs ever made. And it reached number 2 on the Billboard. And, you know, I mean, it's in the Hall of Fame. It's in the Hall of Fame. The song is in the Hall of Fame. It's a fantastic song. This song was great. I still love the song. It's still on my playlist. Still on my playlist. So, Born to Be Wild, number 98. We are rolling. If you just joining us, you missed the top 3 songs just now. Number 98, as it says right there, um, is Born to Be Wild. Everybody Wants to Rule the World opened it up with number 100. Number 99, Redemption Song. And let me tell you, it's only the beginning. But you are watching Entertainment Flash Season 4, Episode 1, Top 100 Songs of All Time. All time. And look, you can see us at YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting, Facebook at Rhode Island Broadcasting, Twitch at RI_broadcasting, and Twitter Broadcasting RI. You can see us at Kick. You can see us on Spotify, Google, all of it. All of it. So please follow us. Get on there. Look for us. You won't be disappointed. You will not. We got great shows on that on Rhode Island Broadcasting, so you want to check it out. Number 97 wasn't even released as a single. No, wasn't released, but it's one of their most popular songs ever made, and that is none other than Desperado by the Eagles. 1973, probably the biggest year of music that is represented on this list. Not planned, had no idea until I started seeing the date over and over again, right? But Desperado, written by Glenn Frey, Don Henley, it was never released as a single, and it took them 2 days. They started collaborating when they first got together. They started collaborating. 2 days it took to make this song, and one of the best Eagles songs ever made. And it's, I mean, it's just perfect, right? It's got that slow, easy, like a kind of agonizing kind of feeling in it. And you know, the song speaks for itself. Desperado, Eagles, number 97. Loved it. Number 96. And I love the song. I love the song. Kenny, I know you're going to like this. Number 96 is Big Papa by Notorious B.I.G. And I've had this song, you know, on hold for a while, and I didn't know what to do with the song because, you know, it was just a tough song to gauge. And then the more I listened to it, more I listened to the words, more I basically felt about, you know, the time that this song came out. 1994. This was one of the songs that really put rap music on the map. It's one of those songs. There's another one coming up that helped do that. But this one, you know, it just struck me, and it was different from what he usually does. And it's kind of like a softer side of him. And I just felt that I needed to put this on the list. So Kenny, I'm surprised you haven't commented on this yet, Kenny. I mean, Big Papa, Notorious B.I.G. in the top 100 songs of all time. This was an important song for rap music. It really was. I mean, because you got Notorious B.I.G., you know, with this thug kind of reputation, and here he comes with this softer side, even though it's a little you know, the content is a little, and for the most part, it stays okay. It's right on that threshold, right? It didn't cross over that threshold, what you can get away with, right? And I think he walked that line pretty well with this song. And look, it opened up people's eyes to the music, right? So, Big Papa number 96. Number 95 might surprise a lot of people as well. And it actually surprised me until when I started, because I liked the song. I just didn't think this duo was going to be on the list. I really didn't think they'd be on the list. And I started listening to the song, and then I'm like noticing all this different stuff that you don't really know until you're kind of like analyzing it, right? When I'm starting to analyze all the music, and She's Gone by Hall and Oates. When you listen to this song, you got to listen to the music. There's like the melodies that are in there, the arrangements, the harmonies, all of these. It's really a complex song, and when they sing together, it's like they're singing like different lines, back and forth, and that blend that they put together, um it's really a super blend of their vocals. Like, when I think about it, it's like their vocals are just so good together, and I think they never sang a song like that again, you know and it starts off softer, and then it's like a gradual build in the song. And when they let their voices go at the end, it's just absolutely amazing. I think it's an excellent song, and people didn't give Hall and Oates enough credit for what they could really sound like. And that was it. That was their song that really made um, a dent in music. And it didn't even do that. I mean, it went to number 7 on Billboard, number 6 on Cashbox. So I mean, it did great. It did great, but didn't reach number 1. But a lot of the songs that are on this list didn't. And some of them weren't even released. Like Desperado wasn't even a released single. So number 95, She's Gone. That moves us to 94. 94, Kansas. And no, it is not Carry On, Wayward Son. It is their ballad, Dust in the Wind. The music on this is so good. First of all, it's written by Kerry Livgren, part of the band. Um, the album itself went triple platinum, and I believe the song did as well. A lot of biblical references. Um, it started, like when Kerry Livgren first wrote this song, he used the music to practice his finger picking on his guitar, just practicing, right? And his wife said, "Hey, you should put words to that." And he did. And Dust in the Wind was born, and the lyrics are fantastic. Fantastic. This song made it to number 6 on Billboard, number 3 on Cashbox. But let me tell you, this song is freaking nice. It is a well done song, and it's their biggest song they ever had. And it wasn't even something that they play normally, but once he played the song and he downplayed it, because he's telling the band, I don't know if it's really good, you know, the band loved it, and they said, we have to make this song. And it was their biggest song. So thank God the band members talked them into doing the song. That brings us to number 93. And yes, another one of those game changers for rap music. Game changer. Kenny, and I'm sure you could agree with this one. Rapper's Delight by Sugar Hill Gang. When this was made, this changed everything for the hip hop rap community, right? Because this song basically introduced hip hop to a bigger audience. Like they had, a lot of trouble getting rappers to actually record their music because at the time, most of them didn't want to record it because it was something that was done live and, was just out there, spur of the moment kind of thing. It's like all done, underground. But record companies wanted to put something out there, and Sugar Hill Gang came in and they did this song, and it's in the Grammy Hall of Fame. It is preserved at the National Recording Registry by the Library of Congress. It made it to 36, number 36 on Billboard. But number 36 was history because this song made it so that way rap and hip hop could be heard mainstream. And it showed, hey, I'm a rap artist. I'm going to start making some recordings now. And this made that possible. This song changed the game because when you think about it, some of the biggest stars today are from that rap industry, rap and hip hop, right? I mean, look, without Sugar Hill Gang, does Eminem even come about? You know what I'm saying? So, so that song meant so much to that community of music. And frankly, it's a great song. It's a great song. So it was posted, it was put on there, and it made it to number 93. Yes, 50 years of hip hop. Great, great. If look, you want to know, check 50 years of hip hop out. You know, that's quality stuff right there. That's quality stuff. 92. We are up to 92. Um, look, it's 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 Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney. Maybe I'm amazed. First solo album, 1970. Of course, written by Paul McCartney, one of the greatest writers of all time. Right? Him and John Lennon together. I don't think there was anybody better. There was nobody better. And you know, it was originally recorded on McCartney's solo album, but never released. So it's one of those songs that, didn't get released until he was with the Wings when they recorded it, and it was on live. It was live. So, but the original song was on McCartney's album, and that was basically dedicated to his wife, Linda, at the time, and so the Wings released it in 1977. So when you start thinking about the time, 7 years before that song was released, and it was released as a live track. But going back to 1970, that song wasn't even released as a single, and it is an amazing song when you put things in perspective and you get these lists, and some of these songs weren't even considered to be in the top 100 in Rolling Stone. Some of these songs were behind Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again. What universe is Oops, I did it again ahead of many songs, many songs. So, um, look, I- it's Paul McCartney. This song deserves to be here. Number 92, Maybe I'm Amazed from 1970. And now, I gotta say, I was actually surprised I put this on the list because I wasn't even considering it. And then I said, you know what? Let me listen to it. And I listened to it. Folsom Prison Blues by Johnny Cash. Look, that song is well written. Okay, that the lyrics in that song were so good. Um, it hit number one, of course, on the country charts. So Billboard country charts, number one. Uh, I mean, it won a Grammy. I mean, when you think about he sang this song at the prison too. Did it live at the prison. And go back, listen to the words because the lyrics are fantastic. The guitar, he sounds really good, really good. And it's like a worker class kind of song. And I loved it. And I put it at number 91, and that's where it deserves to be. Number 91. We have number 90, and you want to talk about revolutionizing music. That's what this band did right here, right? The Beatles, Revolution, number 90. That's another one of those songs that back then that was considered heavy metal. It's a kick butt rock song, and I loved it. The words send a message. You know, I mean, and Lennon himself said, it was about time that they spoke up about what was going on in the world about war and politics, and they decided, well, we got to do this, and they came out with Revolution. The song is fantastic. 1968, written by, of course, Lennon and McCartney. I mean, it's the Beatles. Uh, they changed. They did a lot of new things with music, and you don't really get it until you go through the timeline of their music, and that revolution at that time. I mean, that spawned a lot of great bands, especially, when you think like Led Zeppelin and all of them classic rock bands, right? Revolution a little earlier than that. And yeah, had to be there. Had to be there. Revolution. Let us know what you think about the list so far. Please make comments. Comment about the music, what songs you expect to see. You know, if you don't agree with a song, you got to listen. You got to open up your mind to lots of different music, right? You have to, in order for you to get a list of top 100 songs, you can't just like one kind of music. You have to like everything. Because if you don't, you will never be true to, the music and what is up there. And I felt that it was time. It was time, especially after that crap list that I saw. So, number 89, and that is Jim Croce, Time in a Bottle. Look, he wrote the song. The lyrics were written after his wife when she told him he was she was pregnant, and that does some thinking, right? You do some thinking, you start putting life into perspective, and then you start thinking about things. Well, this song made it to number one on Billboard and Cashbox. Um, it also was a hit after he died in 1977. So, um, the song released 1973. and then hit on the charts after he died. So I mean, the lyrics, when you start thinking, that is a perfect song that captures what you're doing in life, and definitely deserve to be number 89. And that brings us to number 88, and that is Paul McCartney and the Wings are back. This time with Live and Let Die. Now, this is the first time a rock song was to open a James Bond film. So it did make history. It was written by Paul and Linda McCartney, had her hands in this. It was a Grammy winner for Best Arrangement Accompanying Vocalist. Sweet melody throughout. It's a symphonic bombast. I mean, it had a lot of things going, and the music was just so outstanding in this. A little teeny bit of reggae in there, little teeny bit. So number one on Cashbox, number one Record World, number two Billboard. Um, I mean, it was fantastic. Oh, yes. Bad Leroy Brown. Nice on Jim Croce. That is my favorite song by him, by the way. I remember listening to that as a kid, and I love that song. I used to want to hear that all the time. And fortunately, the radio did play it all the time because it was a big song for him as well. Um, but it was more of the, funny kind of pop song, bad Leroy Brown kind of thing, baddest man in the whole downtown. You know, I loved it. Wasn't lyrically good. It wasn't, you know, a song that was going to be viewed as anything genius, but my favorite song by Jim Croce. So yeah. So thanks for mentioning that, Kenny. Um, so number 87 now. Number 87. We're starting to get there, right? 87. Have you ever seen the rain? CCR, Clearance Clearwater Revival. And I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Proud Mary isn't on the list. And I thought, okay, Proud Mary is going to be really up there, right? And then that's when I started analyzing everything. And then I sat back and I'm listening to Proud Mary, and I'm like, the song is actually kind of boring, right? It's a classic song, great song, right? But it's kind of boring. And I think that's when I said, you know what? Let me look at some other stuff by CCR. And that's when I said, hey, you know what? Let me listen to the song. In 1971, written by John Fogerty, said, hey, you know what? Maybe this deserves to be in it. And I did not think this was going to be in there. And then here it comes, just kept climbing up my list, climbing up my list, climbing up my list. And, and then I started getting other songs in, and then that song would still stay there. It still stood there. And here we are. It stayed in. It's really about unease and depression. And this was at the height of their fame, right? They're at the peak of their fame, and they put this out, and it was so difficult for this band to deal with the fame that they were getting, and they fell into some depression, and that could cause some harm. And they only had one more album after this album, and they ended up breaking up. And a lot of it has to do with the depression and the fame. So it's a lot it consumes you. And this song, that Fogerty wrote was basically expressing his feelings and some of the other people around him, and it really describes what the band was going through together. And that's what, when I started really analyzing the song, this song just stood. It stood. And I like this. Look, I like the song Proud Mary, but this is a better written song, and it's just better. And that's why I did this list. I didn't know what was going to be there, right? I mean, you have an idea, that you're going into it, all these songs, okay, these are all great songs, great songs, great songs, and you make a list of all good songs, and then you start putting them in order and shuffling them around, and then, whoa, you come up with a song like this, and then it stays there. It's like, oh, well, musically, this is better. Lyrically, this is better. And that is how these songs ended up. I mean, I had thousands and thousands of songs and time invested in this. And I tried so hard to get this list out before the end of the year. And then I said, you know what? I can't take my time because even yesterday, I changed some things. I changed some things. And here we are. Now I'm stuck with the list, right? But I'm pretty comfortable with this list and comfortably enough to put When a Man Loves a Woman by Percy Sledge at number 86 all time. 86. Written by Calvin Lewis and Andrew Wright. Um, from the Esquires, that is Percy Sledge's band. It was a number one Billboard, Cashbox, and Record World song here in the United States. 1966. Look, I know people are like, oh, well, Michael Bolton was better. No, Michael Bolton was not better. I mean, the original was better. I like Michael Bolton's version. Yes, it was done by a billion people, but that original, Percy Sledge and the Esquires did the song great. Um, and it's a great ballad. The words are fantastic. A lot of the ballads nowadays comes from something that they've heard before, and this is one of those songs. This is one of them. So number 85, and this song was really difficult for me to put in. Not that it was difficult to put in, it was difficult to find the spot. And I love this song. This is probably one of my favorite songs on this list. It's got to be like top 20 of my favorite songs on this list. And that is Marvin Gaye. Let's Get It On. I mean, you know what it is, right? It is what it is. Written by Marvin Gaye and Ed Townsend. Originally written with a religious theme. That struck me as interesting because the song developed and developed and developed, was changed so many times, and it went from a religious theme, and then somebody tried to change it. I believe it was like one of his people in his crew um, changed it to more political, and then I think it might have been a producer or something, and then um, he then went back and redid it with Ed Townsend, and it became this very love and sex themed song. But his vocals are just unmatched. Unmatched. One of the best singers of all time. His smooth tone and the way he sings. I mean, it was just the chords. They're so simple, right? The chords in his music are simple, but the arrangement that he does makes it more complex. And his voice is just gold, right? It's gold. So definitely put Let's Get It On here at number 85. When I started the list, I actually had it in the top 25. But the lyrics kind of kept making me push it back and push it back and push it back. And then it fell off my top 100. And then I revisited it and I looked and I did the research and really listened to the song and the music. And there was a lot of things there that changed my mind. And I ended up putting it back in, and then it climbed a little more. And then it finished right where it is at number 85. That's Marvin Gaye. Let's get it on. And it's on. It's on. You are watching Entertainment Flash, top 100 songs of all time. And sitting here, we've done the first 15. 16, I guess. Yeah, that's 16. 16. And great music, right? If you have certain songs that you think should be on the list by now, throw them up there. Let's see what you got. And maybe I'll tell you if it's on the list somewhere or not. I might not. More likely if it's not, I'll probably tell you if it's not. Most likely. But number 84, yeah, there was no way I was not putting this song on this list. Earth, Wind, and Fire, September. And you know what? I don't care, the yada, yada, yada. Yeah, it's gibberish. And that's exactly what he said when he wrote it. So written by Al McKay, Maurice White, Ali Willis. When they first wrote the song, they were like, well, it's got, what does that mean? And he's like, it means nothing. It just still sounds good. It doesn't matter what those words are, because the music is so good that people are going to love the song, right? Well, guess what? People do love the song. It is fantastic. Musically, one of the best songs ever, right? Like, I love the horns. I love Earth, Wind, and Fire's sound, And to top it all off, this is preserved in the National Recording Registry as of 2018, by the Library of Congress. And this song deserves it because this song is fantastic. It's fantastic. I mean, you can't help but enjoy it, Number 8, Billboard. Number 6, Cashbox. I can't believe it didn't get to number 1. Can't believe. Fantastic song. Earth, Wind, and Fire definitely deserve to be there, right? All right, now here's an interesting one. Number 83, Blowing in the Wind, Bob Dylan. Okay, now I'm going to tell you the truth. I think Bob Dylan can't sing. I don't like when he sings. That just tells you how good of a writer he is. He's such a great writer that despite a horrible voice, and yes, folks, it is a horrible voice. I don't care what anybody tells me. He's got a horrible voice. Despite that horrible voice, this song is that good to be here at number 83, Blowing in the Wind. And I'm listening to the words. I'm reading along, with the song, and I'm listening to the music, and I'm like, wow, this is great. This is great. Could you imagine if Freddie Mercury or, somebody like that got a hold of this song and sang it? Oh my God. Oh my God. And remember, the one thing I learned while doing this is that no matter what, Freddie sings it better. He sings it better. That's what I learned through all of this. Best vocals. That guy can belt it out. It's just unfortunate we lost him and he didn't get to sing everybody else's songs, because I've been listening to him on the AI stuff. And yes, it's AI. It doesn't mean anything, right? Well, when it sounds like Freddie, and then you wonder, it's like, wow, Freddie does sing it better. He kind of destroyed music for me for a little bit, because, you know, oh yeah, there we go, like a Rolling Stone, Bob Dylan, right? So Blowing in the Wind, his writing skills are so good. And, you know, it is difficult to say, hey, which songs from Bob Dylan you're going to put in there, right? And I settled on at least this one. I mean, there are 82 more songs, so will he show up again? That's a question. But Blowing in the Wind, I felt was so good at writing and musically, it went in there. Um, that leads us to number 82. And this might be one of those songs that I get a little comments saying that it doesn't deserve to be in there, but I think it does. Alanis Morissette, You Ought to Know. Written by Alanis Morissette and Glenn Ballard. Ballard changed her career. Met up with Ballard, changed from pop to, like an alternative rock. Came out with Jagged Little Pill, and the rest is history. One of the best albums made, right? I loved it. Uh, it was like the song is just powerful, right? You got to listen to the words. Like when you're dealing with best song of all time, okay? When you try to do that, yes, Kenny, it is a great album. The words are so powerful, and her voice is so powerful, and I love the texture in her voice. I love the texture in the music. It was basically kick ass. This song was kick ass. And there is no way anybody is going to tell me that this song doesn't deserve to be in there when, I mean, you put that song together and the complexities of that song and the power and the anger that you can feel from it. It's not there in everybody's songs. I'm sorry. It was there. Like you felt there was some anger there, and there probably is some anger issues. Is the moon really made of green cheese? And if it would, could you eat some? Yep. It's like, thank you, Chakra, for being here. I could go for some cheese now. Nice cheese pizza, And if the moon was cheese, I would be taking chunks of that. Chunks. So You Want to Know, Alanis Morissette, number 82. Chakra got his comments in there. One of the greatest Canadians of all time. Yes. Glad you pointed that out. Fellow Canadian Bryan Adams, not on the list. Again, see, like when I mentioned the ballad, most of those ballads, When a Man Loves a Woman, right? Think about Bryan Adams. Everything I do it for you. Those are bubblegum ballads. So they're just chopped up and sent out as something else. That's the way I look at it. So that's why something like Bryan Adams' song doesn't get on the list, because it's like it's done over and over and over again. Give me something new. And yeah, so number 81. We're going to roll along. Number 81. That means I'm talking too much, right? Number 81, Elvis Presley, Suspicious Minds. You knew something had to be there for Elvis, right? Look, it's very simple with Elvis, right? You take a song written by Mark James in 1968, was released, did nothing. sold nothing. So gives it to Elvis, and Elvis blows it up, right? 1969 released it, and what does it do? It's a platinum single. It goes platinum. The arrangement that they used musically, way better than the original. Um, First of all, he used a lot of strings. He used three trumpets and three trombones, one of them being a bass trombone. Um, Four backup singers, like as a choir kind of thing. It was his 18th number one single. So the difference in one person singing it to the next person singing it with a better arrangement is astronomical. Astronomical. What a difference, right? It went number one in 5 countries. Number one in 5 countries. Elvis Presley did the song so good. There aren't many remakes on my list, but he changed the song so good with such a great arrangement of music that it made the list. And, you know, being his 18th number one song doesn't hurt. So, number 81, Suspicious Minds from 1969. That leaves Haiti. And let me tell you, Saria from Indonesia, she's going to know. This song, number 80. I love this song, right? Bruno Mars, Just the Way You Are. Now, there aren't many new songs on this list because a lot of it is really just generic or carbon copies of something from the past, right? Well, written by Bruno Mars, Philip Lawrence, Ari Levine, and Khalil Walton, 2010 release. Also, Kari Kane. Look, it's straight to the point lyrics, just the way you are. Not the Billy Joel version, but it is what it is, right? The lyrics are is what it is kind of thing. But it goes beyond the lyrics in this song. Bring back movie soundtracks. You see, Kenny, I think like soundtracks is where bands go to die. They go to die in soundtracks. When you start thinking about it, anybody that does a soundtrack, basically, that ends their careers. Think about it. Go back and look. So the song "Just the Way You Are" by Bruno Mars. First of all, it's uplifting. It's a very positive feeling, especially for women, obviously, right? Because he's singing on how beautiful they are, and it's infectious. He's got a melody that is just so infectious. The arrangement with the piano and the backbeat blended so perfectly that it was phenomenal music. And his vocals, he's got such a nice voice. Yeah, exactly. Look, see? Bryan Adams, Robin Hood. Done after that. Done. It just goes to show you. Think about it. Huey Lewis and the News. They were huge, right? Then they did Back to the Future. That was it. Done. Kenny Loggins. He had to do another, after Footloose, he had to do Top Gun in order to stay relevant. After Top Gun, done. I'm telling you, soundtracks are the curse. Yeah, you go back and look. So the vocals, Bruno Mars, and the arrangement, masterpiece. Love the song. One of my favorite songs of all time. Absolutely love it. Um, yeah. So we're going to go to number 79. Number 79, Stevie Wonder, Superstition. Look, the music Stevie Wonder produces is incredible, okay? He is an excellent writer. And he also plays a lot of the instruments. Did you know that? I don't know. Like Bruno Mars played every instrument, by the way, on that song. Well, Stevie Wonder plays the music on his. He did everything but the drums. The drums were Jeff Beck. Remember Jeff Beck, guitarist, right? He played the drums on Superstition. Um, and most of that song was improvised as Jeff Beck was playing. And then Stevie Wonder put everything else to it on the spot. That's how talented Stevie Wonder is. 1972, written by Stevie Wonder, of course, um, including he improvised the guitar, you know, that Stevie Wonder made that. He was on the Hohner clavinet and the Moog bass. Number one Billboard song. Um, and I know everybody samples his music. I mean, it's Stevie Wonder. Superstition. Love the song. That is my favorite Stevie Wonder song, too, by the way. And number 79. You're watching Entertainment Flash Season 4, Episode 1, the top 100 songs of all time. Yes, this is better than that crap list on that magazine that's no longer a magazine. I guess it's just a website. Rolling Stone. So that's what inspired me to do this because they got it all wrong. And we'll just say that their number one song isn't even on my list. It isn't even on my list. So, number 78, The Sound of Silence, Simon and Garfunkel. Now, I'm going to say that I never really cared for the song too much until I started analyzing it and breaking it down. Written by Paul Simon, was a number one song on Billboard and Cashbox from 1964. I started looking at the words to this song, and it is a lyrical masterpiece. Um, the lyrics are just so great, and Paul Simon is so talented, and I couldn't not put the song on there, and I know it's higher on a lot of people's lists. I saw it on 3 different lists. Um, I didn't think it was worthy of it being higher as an action of the song itself, but the lyrics and the music are fantastic. I couldn't not put it there. And I was thinking and like, okay, I'm wavering back and forth between like that song and everything behind it through like Marvin Gaye. And then up further, I was trying to decide where am I putting this song? And then I found the sweet spot right there. Yes, Paul Simon is that song, and I love that song. I love that song. If you be my bodyguard and I can be your long lost pal, I can call you Betty. And Betty, when you call me, you can call me Al. Song was You Can Call Me Al. And the video, if you've never seen the video of that song, you gotta look because Chevy Chase is absolutely hilarious in the video. Absolutely hilarious. Made the song. But yeah, so Sound of Silence, number 78. How we doing out there? How we doing? Do you like the list? Do you think the list is good? Please let us know. Look, there's a lot to come. There is a lot to come. You know, I mean, have we had anything from Prince yet? Never. No. I mean, all of these people down at the bottom over here, they're all in this. They're all in this. So, I mean, they got to be there, right? Got to be. So, yeah, we're cruising along. Number 77, Comfortably Numb, Pink Floyd. And this was an interesting. See, when you do this list and you start really learning about, the bands and what happens with them. This was written by David Gilmour and Roger Waters. um, this is what happens when, when you are injected with tranquilizers before a concert. Then you start creating songs like this. Uh, it's I guess it's listed as a progressive rock, art rock, psychedelic rock is more like it, right? Um, the lyrics are based on just what that was, being injected with tranquilizers, and that's how this song came about. Now, before the song was put together completely, they argued over the arrangement, and they ended up compromising, but it could never work together constructively. And this song basically was the demise of Pink Floyd. Um, with at least Gilmour and Waters. The combination, the two created great songs, but none compared to the melodies and lyrics of this. This one was just amazing. Two guitar solos. I mean, the music was it was chill. And this song, to me, it's their best song, both musically and, everything. Chevy Chase, drummer for Steely Dan. Wait, what? He was the drummer for Steely Dan? The Wall, good album. Yes, and, it's probably one of the best albums of all time. I mean, I remember that was on the top 100 albums list for like 2 decades. 2 decades. Top 100, 2 decades. That's crazy to even think of that, right? But that's the fact. It was, I remember like so well. Song was fantastic. Comfortably Numb, Pink Floyd. All right, Kenny, you are going to love this one right here. You are going to live it. Remember when Billie Jean wasn't on the list? When I said Billie Jean, not on the list. Here you go, Kenny. Let that sink in for you. Right there. Let that sink in. Number 76, Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. Man in the Mirror, 1988, written by Glenn Ballard. Oh, Alanis Morissette, right? And Sida Garrett. So Michael did not write this one. He did not write it. But the performance, though, I mean, who else could have sung that? Maybe Freddie. But seriously, no, Michael Jackson. It was his 10th number one single. It went triple platinum. Produced by Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson. I mean, Quincy Jones is one of the greatest producers of all time. Can't go wrong with that, right? Look, the lyrics were so powerful and uplifting that how could I not consider this, you know, this this is a well-written song, you know? You add Michael's voice to the message being sent. And then on top of that, throw in a gospel choir and you have yourself a freaking great song. This is a great song. This is to me his best written song. His best one, right? It isn't the last one on the list though. Not the last. But Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror, 1988. Look, this it's Michael. It's Michael. Number 75. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Tears of a Clown. And this is the fun part, right? When you start learning how songs came about, it was written by Hank Cosby, Smokey Robinson, and Stevie Wonder. Yeah, didn't know that. I didn't know that. Right? So, any parody song on that list? No parody songs on the list. If it was, it would be the one and only Weird Al. So, oh wait, Man in the Mirror is Eric's favorite song. That's interesting. So Tears in the Clown, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. Now, it is in the Grammy Hall of Fame for one. Number one, Billboard and Cashbox. Stevie Wonder and Cosby, Hank Cosby, made the music. Smokey Robinson said the music sounded like a circus. This is Smokey Robinson. When he gets handed the music, it's like, it sounds like a circus. And he's like, how am I supposed to put animals in there, make a song about animals? And then he settled on a clown. Clowns are at circus, and he thought of it as a sad clown. And it is really how he felt in the song lyrics. That's how he felt. So he was obviously going through some depression as well. And when you start listening to the words, it's it makes you feel those feelings that the singer is doing and going through at the time. And that's what makes great music. You can actually feel how they're feeling. And Chakra, just to let you know why Weird Al is not on the list. First of all, it is parody. Okay. And I'm not putting parody down because I think the songs are pretty awesome, right? I mean, who doesn't love Eat It? And another one, Rides the Bus. It's just, for the most part, there aren't many remakes on this list either. There's a few. Obviously, we had, Suspicious Minds with Elvis, right? But there are a few, but there has to be something exceptional about that. So, because you're taking away the writing ability of that music artist, and now it just becomes music and voice. So in that sense, it's hard for somebody like Weird Al to make this list. That's why. So there you go. So, all right, we move on. We've got the next one And here he is, the purple one, Prince, number 74, 1999. And let me tell you, I was trying to debate whether, what certain songs are worthy of being put in here. And I've gone through the list of every single song, by some of these artists like Prince. And first of all, it made the top 100 four times, four separate times. It made the top 100. 1982, 1983, 1985, and what was it? 2016, the year he died. It's it's such a complex song. Look, first of all, he's playing all the instruments, right? He does all the instruments. And then he has a couple of people singing with him. So he's blending the two different singers in with him. And when you listen to the lyrics and it's Judgment Day, and all of these things are happening in the song, musically this song is unbelievable. It's art, right? And that is one of the qualifications that you have to be in on this list. I mean, it has to be something genius. The way he mixes the vocals and the music and all of it to put together, it's genius. It's genius. And the fact that it was so popular, that helps. So Prince, 1999, from 1982 and 83 and 85 and 2016. So there we go. Number 74. Number 73. Ooh, I might take some backlash from this one. Because I know Kenny's like, how, right? How? Number 73 is How to Save a Life by the Fray. Now I know, let it all come out, but I don't care what anybody says. Listen to the words of this song. This song might be have the best lyrics out of most of these songs in this list. Lyrically, it is a masterpiece again, right? So that is what carries this song. And the way they do the song, Isaac Slade and Joe King wrote the song. 2005 was released. It was inspired by working as a mentor for troubled teens. That's what inspired this song. And when you listen to the words, it's sad. It's sad. And I mean, I've worked with troubled teens, so like I felt that song immediately. And to be honest with you, I actually forgot about the song, and it was not going to be on my list. And then I just happened to hear it. And I'm like, oh, I remember this song. And then I started listening to the lyrics, and lyrically, it's got to be one of the top 10 songs ever. So lyrically is the masterpiece. Then you throw in, the music and the way he sings, and you got yourself a number 73 song of all time. But listen to it. You go listen to it. You tell me that you can't feel what he's saying. Number 72. Oh, we got some politically charged right here. Politically charged, and The Clash, London Calling. Written by Joe Strummer and Mick Jones. It refers to World War II radio broadcast. That's what the reference is. So it's kind of like apocalyptic, kind of political rant. So it goes along with all kinds of the stuff that's going on. Uh, the nuclear era at 3 Mile Island, police brutality, the worry that if they had, bad storms, the Thames River would be overflowing. And so London Calling was the reference to World War II, is what they used for the broadcast. So now it's the cry for help, for all of these problems that are going on, and it's like doom and gloom for the Clash here, and that's where you get London Calling, and it's a staple in that genre, right? This song is one of those staples that everybody refers to. Started out as a Christian band. You see? So yeah, and it's like then they go completely the other way, right? Completely the other way. So London Calling is number 72. I mean, that's a song that's on like everybody's list too. So um so go listen to it. It's a pretty good song. Like you'll love it. And then listen to the words. You gotta listen to the words, people. And you have to expand your horizons. Now I know Kenny's big into all kinds of music. Big into all kinds of music. And he shocked me during the last episode of Entertainment Flash when he busted out a jazz song. Shocked me that he knew who I was talking about, and it was amazing. It was amazing during the in memoriam. So if you wanna check that out, you got to check it out. Um, yeah. So the Fray is a former Christian band, and then the Clash, went all out with London Calling, and there they are at number 72. So that leaves us at number 71. And what do we got? We got that the thing's not working. There we go. Margaritaville by the late Jimmy Buffett that just passed away last year. But he's on the list. So we have not forgotten Jimmy Buffett. Now, when you think about this song, and to me, this is the ultimate chill party kind of song, right? Because it's a drinking song. It's a drinking song. You have to have a drink when you're listening to this. Margaritaville, Jimmy Buffett. It's when you go on vacation and you're at the beach. You go to Aruba, you go to Miami Beach. I mean, this is what you got to listen to. This is it. And it's like musically, okay, no. But what this song does since 1977 is just keep getting that cult following. And new people keep listening to it and picking up on it. And it's just played everywhere. On every cruise, you're going to hear this song. On every cruise. Every island that you can go to, Bermuda, wherever you go, this song is going to get played. It has stood the test of time for so long. Just chill, have a drink, listen to Margaritaville. Period. So, you can listen to the rest of this. Just chill, sit back, have a drink, and enjoy this list, because this list is starting to get cranking. It's getting cranking. And let me tell you, there'll be some surprises. But then you're going to be, oh my God, yes. And then you might even think, hey, why isn't he even higher? So, number 70, Georgia on My Mind, Ray Charles. It is actually the official song of Georgia. Not surprising, right? Written by Stuart Gurrell, the lyrics, and Hoogie Carmichael did the music. Um, 1979, it was designated the state song. It is in the Grammy Hall of Fame, number one Billboard song. Um, I mean, this is fantastic. I mean, the soul and the voice of Ray Charles just makes this song so good. The way he sings it, the arrangement of it is just impeccable. It's just so good. It's so soothing, and it's just so nice to listen to. And therefore, it was number 70 on the list. So we are rolling along. Number 69. This is one that's probably could surprise some people, but when I listened to the song, and I listened to it several times just to make sure of what I was thinking, and it is She Talks to Angels by the Black Crowes, 1991. Written by Chris Robinson and Rich Robinson, his brother, was also in the band. It only made it to number 30, but it was loosely based on a goth girl was acquainted with, who he was acquainted with, and was into heroin. Okay. So, but when you dissect the song and you really listen to the words, you can feel the pain and the soul of the person that they're talking about. And personally, I think it's him. I think it's talking about himself. And you you kind of get a sense that there is a massive inner struggle in there, and you can feel that in that song. And the way his voice goes and flows with the song and the melody is just a work of art. And they never really captured that in any other song, um, not like this. And I think the song was so well written, and the song deserves to be there. And you know, it's not all about being a big hit, and but you can feel the song, and you can definitely feel the song in that. And I gotta say, number 68, it was tough because this is the song that I decided I had to put in, even though it was a remake. And I listened to the song, and there is nobody that can sing this song like this. The voice is one of a kind, and unfortunately, yet we lose another great one, right? For inner demons and stuff, and things going on in their lives. And when you when you have a voice that is so special, and the song, even though lyrically not spectacular, even the music isn't really that spectacular, but the voice is that special. And that is Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You. Like, it's on paper, this is bubblegum, and it doesn't matter. Like, I go back, you listen to Dolly Parton's version, eh, sorry, Dolly, but it's not even that good. But when you listen to Whitney sing this song, it's unreal. The power in her voice. Look, there are probably three vocalists that I put on a higher level than anybody else. That is Whitney Houston, Freddie Mercury, and Mariah Carey. That's where I put them. They're above anybody else vocally. And Whitney Houston was just so powerful and pure. It's a pure voice. So Whitney Houston, 1992, I Will Always Love You, number 68, had to be there, had to be on here. And it was all because of her voice. Now, Kenny, stressing that. It's number 68 because of her voice. Other than that, this song would not be on the list. Would not be on it. Her voice put it at number 68. Her voice is special. This has nothing to do with being a big hit, nothing to do with that. Produced by David Foster, written by Dolly Parton on the Bodyguard soundtrack. The vocals are impeccable. There is nothing better than those vocals. So with that, we go to number 67. And I this one's an interesting one because I love the song. No Rain by Blind Melon. I love the music. It's all about depression and not being able to get out of bed. That's what depression does. And you see a lot of these songs, it has that in it. And that's because these people that are famous and they can't function because of the fame has just clouded everything, and this song really explains that. But the falsetto in his voice, Shannon Hoon, the way he sings it and rolls through the song, and then the music, it's like you get that beginning. That, what a great start. And then the music in that song is such a great thrill to listen to. And when he sings the song with that falsetto, and you can feel that pain that he's talking about and being depressed and stuff like that, it doesn't get much better than that. So there was a lot of mixed in there, and that's why that's right there, right there at number 67. 67. We're almost at the point where we knew that they were gonna be in. We just didn't know where they were going to be, right? We're almost at that point. Number 66 is Freedom by George Michael, Freedom 90. Not the Wham version of Freedom. And that's why they added the 90 to the title, is to separate it from the Wham version of with the song title Freedom and George Michael's Freedom. Look, written by George Michael. It's got that guitar, that classic George Michael guitar, and with a great arrangement of music. Lots of power in that song. The lyrics are very strong. It's going through, his career. It's really about his career and making the change from Wham to solo, and he just needed to be free of all of that other stuff so he can create music the way he wants to create it, how he wants to, on his terms, blah blah blah, the whole bit, right? And you get that power song that has a lot of feeling in it, and it's his emotions coming out in it, and you can feel it. And again, when the song has a lot of those elements of great music and the voice, and that's why it's on the list. This is why we're doing this, because a lot of these songs aren't on other people's list, but they're putting songs, and I don't want to use it as an example because I think it's a great song. Respect. I look at that, it's doesn't have anything great musically. The lyrics are kind of repetitive, and And then you throw in the fact that it really wasn't even Aretha Franklin's song. It wasn't even her song. And she didn't do it any better than the original. She just sang it. And there was nothing genius about that song. So I don't even have it on the list. It was number 1 on Rolling Stone's Top 500. And I had it in the list. It was one of the first songs that was cut from one of the last songs that was cut from my list. But I couldn't put it in. I'm looking at it. It's like, there isn't anything spectacular about the song. Great song. Not saying it's not a great song. Love the song. But it doesn't categorize anything as musically genius, lyrically genius, vocally genius. There was nothing like that. So it didn't make the list. Freedom did make the list. And what did make the list are a bunch of other songs, 65 other songs, and number 65, In the Still of the Night by the Five Satins. Another one of those back in the day ballads, right? This one this one was a good one, and it was pretty high for me, and it fell. It is probably the best doo-wop song ever. I mean, I don't even think it is the best doo-wop song ever. It's got smooth rhythm and great romantic lyrics, right? Boyz II Men redid this. It is not the Boyz II Men version. It is a 1956 version, Five Satins released. It only made it to number 24 on the Billboard chart. But what it did, it kept getting more and more people getting to like this through time. Pink Cadillac. Oh, there we go. That was a good song too. And it's look, it's just one of those songs that it was big later on in life. It got more and more airplay as it went on, and even after it wasn't first released, it started gaining more and more momentum. And it's just one of those songs that just like, it's just there. But the lyrics is a true love song. So In the Still of the Night was number 65. Number 64. Oh, you're going to love this one, Kenny. And you're going to be like, yeah, watch. Number 64. If I Ain't Got You, Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys. Look, when I heard this song, I almost cried my eyes out. It is heart-wrenching. And when you can get feelings like that from people, you know you have a great song. Written by Alicia Keys, and hit number 4 on Billboard. Inspired by the death of Aaliyah and the September 11th attacks. Was written in 2004. 2004 was released. It was Grammy nominated, Billboard R&B Song of the Year. I mean, it's a great song. Kenny, if you're there, look, let us know what you think about that one, because when you listen to this song, the lyrics and the way she sings it will have you bawling your eyes out. And so, Kenny, what I would probably do is not listen to it. Don't listen to it, because it will be tough to get through. Let me tell you. I know, because I listened to it and it was tough. It was very difficult. So that is number 64, Alicia Keys, fantastic singer. Another great vocal wonder. I love her voice. Number 63, Spirit in the Sky, Norman Greenbaum. Again, this is um, number 3 on Billboard, number 1 on Cashbox. Norman Greenbaum, very religious song, right? But he wasn't even Christian, and this has a lot of that in it, right? And he struck gold with this one. It was his only hit, but it was a great one. The song is still played a lot of places. You can still hear this everywhere, commercials, um, a lot movies. So, I mean, it's really stayed out there. It's a great, great song. The lyrics are great, especially if you're religious, if you're a Christian, you will love the song. Um, but it's still a great song, even if you're not. And so 1969, Norman Greenbaum, Spirit in the Sky. Love the song. Love the song. Okay, so with that, when you start talking about the rest of the songs, we're at number 62 right now. I knew all 62 of these songs was going to be there. I knew they would be there. When I made my list, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put these over here. And all these songs were on that side that I'm pretty sure that these are all going to make the list. And I was right. So there might be a couple that, moved up into that category. But number 62, Peaceful, Easy Feeling by the Eagles. I love this song. It's one of my favorite songs from the Eagles. Three of your songs were on the Forrest Gump soundtrack. Kenny, what 3 of those songs are from the soundtrack? Do you remember the songs? So that way we can let people know. Make it 4. So, all right. So Kenny's going to put down those 4. And I'm going to explain why I have Peaceful, Easy Feeling in there. Written by Jack Tempchin. It was number 22 on the Billboard, and it is just simply lyrically awesome, vocally awesome. I love the arrangement in it. It's got that easy going, chill, kind of relax, and that's what the song is really about. And I think they did a great job putting this song out there for Jack Tempchin. His writing skill, right? Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't had more on the top here so far. But I love the song. It is such a great, wonderful song. It's a wonderful song. So, so that's Peaceful, Easy Feeling by the Eagles in 1972. That brings us to number 61, and that is Tangled Up in Blue by Bob Dylan. Look, I mean, the lyrics are so good, and the music is so good. Again, with him, there's never a question about writing, right? He's one of the best writers ever, songwriters ever. And this one is like, it's written with shifting perspectives of time. So lyrically and acoustic guitar, oh, I love the way he plays a guitar. I love the way he writes songs because the words are not the same. When he writes a song, it's like the words are different than everybody else's words, right? They're just so creative, and I just don't think anybody can duplicate that. And there's not many people that can do that. It's like when you have some great singers and they have hit after hit after hit, but it's really just recycled songs, and you know, kind of the words are just in different orders and different hooks, and his lyrics are just different. Like, how many songs do you know with Tangled in it? Is there any? It just it just goes to show you how he writes and he thinks, and nothing else is like it. And that's what makes songs a masterpiece. It's like it's just different from everything else. It's different. Tangled Up in Blue is different. And it's number 61. Number 61. Number 60. Number 60, back at it again on the list, Strawberry Fields Forever. Now, here's a song that sounds different, especially back then when this song was released, 1967. This didn't sound like anything back then. Didn't sound like anything. They create new sounds. That's what the Beatles did. And that's why they're so heavy on this list. And there's songs on this. I probably could have put 20 songs of the Beatles on this list. But at some point, you got to leave some of them off and let somebody else have some spotlight, right? So, Strawberry Fields Forever, 1967, written by Lennon and McCartney, originally recorded in C major, but they manipulated the tape speed so much that it ended up being in B minor. And then you add some psychedelic kind of music, and you got something different, right? And this is what they did. They tried to get something different all the time. And that's the way they created. And this is why Lennon and McCartney are the greatest writers, I think. They created such great stuff. They had a flute-like sound played on the mellotron. They start off with a chorus instead of a verse. This is all stuff that they do. And it's a lot of different styles mixed into one song. And this is what they get. They get these kind of like rock opera kind of thing, but it's just different from everything else. And that's what made them so great. Yeah. It's hard not to, right? The song is so creative. To this day, I don't even know if there's really anything that is like that as it is, even now. So, that's a special song. It's just so creative and so different. Again, you have all these songs now, they're like musically genius in there, and there's a lot of factors that go in. Now, with that being said, I know that I'm going to be like wondering, are this the order I should have everything in? I know these are the 100 songs. That I know. However order you want to put them in, that is fine. But these are the best 100 songs. These are the best. And at number 59, I have Billy Joel. Just the Way You Are. This is a very good ballad. 1977, written by Billy Joel. Just to let you know, Phil Woods was on the saxophone in this song. Jazz musician. This song won 2 Grammys. It was number 3 on Billboard, number 2 on Cashbox. The melody of this song is so great. it's such a tender song, right? When you have a ballad, a love song, there has to be some sort of a tenderness, right? This puts tender off the charts, way off the charts. You know, a lot of Billy Joel songs will get more love, for the song. Big Shot, Moving Out, you know, My Life. They get more hype, right? But this song was very well crafted. Very, I mean, this is like, how many weddings must this have been, their theme song? So it's got all the tenderness you can get, the great melody, and of course, Billy Joel singing it is just absolutely fantastic. His voice is so great. New York State of Mind. Yeah, and I knew people were going to say, "Hey, put that song in there." And believe me, I thought of it. It was one of those that I did leave off ultimately. And it was, I don't know. I don't know what held me back on that song. And it's certainly one of those that I could, you know, find a place for. But I don't know if I can take off any of the songs that are on the list. I'm sure it could. Like, there's some songs that people will think, oh, just take that one off. And, like, and I'll be the first one to say, She Talks to Angels. People are going to say, oh, just take that one off. No, the way that song is written needs to be there. Yeah, he did. Yep. He wrote it while riding the train. And, he's a New Yorker. I mean, that's what he is. Oh, I know. 10 minutes, Kenny, right? Like, some of these songs, it's amazing on how fast. And then there's some songs that take years to write. So, some of the best ideas comes in seconds. Boom. So, number 58. Number 58. We are cruising along on this list. Here you go, Kenny. California Love. California Love. If I can get it on there. Tupac featuring Dr. Dre and Roger Troutman. Now, this is an interesting one because if I'm not mistaken, this was shortly after Tupac got out of jail, if I'm not mistaken. And this song just, it was, okay, when you think about, you got Troutman, you got Dre, and you got Tupac, and you're taking the vocals and you're blending it in with the vocoder and the horns and the bass line, and you got to put all that stuff together in its right spot. Now, that is a skill that a lot of people haven't perfected, especially, nowadays. But then, when you have um, that combination and the skill level, and then you take all those factors and you put it into that song, and it was revolutionary, right? That song made it possible for a lot of things to happen. And it puts such a great beat, that that bass line and everything, in with his voice. And oh, the video is awesome, Kenny. You're right, absolutely. That video makes you want more. Makes you want more. And it is such a special song. I love the lyrics. I ain't gonna lie, I love the lyrics, and you feel like you're with them when they're doing this song, and I just think I just think it just made rap hip hop relevant. This is a song that made it all relevant, right? Not saying that it wasn't, even without the song, but in the music industry, this song made it relevant because it hit number one on Billboard. And that was really unheard of with rap music, right? You wouldn't hear a rap song, being number one. 1995, Tupac, Dr. Dre, Troutman, they made that. Now look at the genre. The genre is massive now because of this song. This song is one of those songs that, first of all, they need to preserve this in the registry. So this needs to get that. This made everything relevant for rap and hip hop. That goes without saying. So that was number 58, number 57. And as soon as I put this up there, you're going to know the section of the song that you're going to remember. In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. That drum section of the song, top notch. Probably the best drums in any song, right? So, written by Phil Collins, the opening music is so awesome and weird. Like, this song is. The song is kind of like experimental. That pop, the 80s pop, where it's kind of that odd kind of thing. You had Peter Gabriel, Sledgehammer. It's that kind of genre, right? Right in there. Um, and this is a restrained, angry song. And then when those drums come out, ding, 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 that's when it releases that anger and it just explodes with that drum. And when you hear that drum, it is fantastic. Phil Collins. Uh, the burst of drums is one of the best I've ever heard in any song. But like I said, it's that experimental pop that exploded in the 80s, and it was like you heard like the Peter Gabriels and I'm trying to think of other bands that were like that. It's like that electronic kind of thing to it, and but that was the beginning of it. So Phil Collins kind of brought that in, and and I thought without that song, stuff like Sledgehammer and In Your Eyes and all those other songs don't happen. Don't happen. So Phil at number 57, number 56. Hey, there's some more country here. Garth Brooks, Thunder Rolls. This song was so controversial. And you look back at it now, it's like, why was it so controversial? Well, first of all, it's all based on a turmoil in a marriage. And the lyrics are deep, deep, dark, right? Getting beat and that mysterious fourth verse where she pulls out the gun and won't have to worry about who he's with again. The whole bit there. Very, very dark. Number one Billboard country. You have that rolling guitar riff that was just awesome in the song, and then they put the thunder in it and stuff like that. But it is definitely a great song. 1991, Garth Brooks, Thunder Rolls. Um, it's abuse. You can't do that, and this song really brings that out. Is Paul Simon on here? Yeah, well, Simon and Garfunkel was. Simon and Garfunkel was. No Paul Simon. Not anything by himself. So that I'll tell you, you will not see Paul Simon anywhere by himself in solo. So, but we had some Simon and Garfunkel. We did have that. Okay, so moving on past Thunder Rolls, we have When Doves Cry. When Doves Cry, Prince. Yes, I love this song. I love the song. 1984, written by Prince. The texture and layers of this song are massive. The guitar solos, just to even enter the song, and classical music style piano in there. Oddly enough, this song has no bass line. No bass line, and it's an 80s dance song. No bass line. I'm stunned just even saying it. Prince is a genius. I think he's one of the best athletes. Best athlete. Yeah, best musicians of all time. He's on my Mount Rushmore. Diamonds on the sole of her shoes. I'll tell you what, I'm going to check that out. I'm going to analyze it, and then I'll come back next time and I will talk about that. So Prince, When Doves Cry, that song has got so much in there. The music is just incredible. Incredible. And then when you find out it doesn't even have a bass line, then you're stunned, right? Not to mention that he plays every instrument. Every instrument. The guy's amazing. The guy's amazing. We lost him way too soon. Way too soon. So this song, of course, was number one on Billboard in 1984 for 5 weeks. When he died in 2016, this song went to number 8 in 2016. 2016, it went to number 8. That's unbelievable. Let's Go Crazy is an awesome song too. That was one of my final cuts as well. Musically, you know what? He is an underrated guitarist. I think he's one of the best. I think you need to put him up there with Hendrix, Van Halen, Clapton. I think you need to put him up there with them. By all means, he's so underrated as a guitarist. So again, we talk about this music genius stuff, right? This is where you're picking it up at number 55, right? Well, number 54 kind of goes in there as well, and you're gonna be like, "What, Ron? You're crazy! You're out of your mind, right?" It's not even close to her best song. Well, number 54 is Like a Prayer. And let me tell you, this is a fantastic song. This is her best song. Like, yes, you might like other songs more. Hey, Like a Virgin, Vogue, whatever, right? You might like those better. But Like a Prayer, 1989, by Madonna. This was her basically showing to the world that she's got talent. It isn't just making a pop song. She made Like a Prayer, and it was based on her life, right? It's her life. And so her personal experiences was on display in that album. And this song benefited from it because she added a choir and had a lot of gospel to it, right? And this is a gospel song. Believe it or not, folks, this is a gospel song. And when she's singing and it has this angelic sound to it, and the it's just amazing. It tells a great story. Number one Billboard, number one Cashbox, number one in 20 countries. Number one in 20 countries. That's insane. It's insane. It's insane. 1989, Like a Prayer. I, it's a great song. Her vocals was great. Yeah, she's an amazing singer, and she's still doing it. She's still doing it. But this song was special. It was special. Woo! 54. What do we got? Number 53. Dobie Gray. Drift Away. You know, it's like this was a song that I almost forgot about. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. We got to add this. Written by Mentor Williams, originally from Mike Berry in 1972. It did absolutely nothing. It sold nothing. Didn't do anything. And then they said, hey, let's have Dobie Gray sing it. And then all of a sudden, boom, number 5 Billboard song, number 8 Cashbox. This is just a beautiful, uplifting song. The lyrics are just wonderful, right? It's one of those lyrically genius things. It's like lightning in a bottle. Dobie Gray, boom, brings the song to life. And it's so nice. It's a great song. And I could not deny it. I could not deny it. You know, I struggled to figure out where to put this. And I ended up going just ahead of Madonna. But thinking about it, I probably should have put it at number 55. Behind When Doves Cry. Thinking about it now. But see, this is just it. It's like this list changed every single day. Every day this list changed. Every day. But 53. Number 52, this is where, this song. Look, I always loved this song when I was younger. And then, I put it, I didn't listen to it and putting it in order. And I had it in the 80s at one point. And then I was like, okay, let me listen to it. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I don't think that's right. And then I started looking, and it went up, up, up. And, it ended up becoming more than life itself. And that is number 52, Dream On. It kept climbing and climbing and climbing. And I'm like, oh my God. Musically a masterpiece. Musically a masterpiece. You take that edge, with the guitar, but it has this kind of strange melody and it has all these guitar riffs. And, but when you add his vocal to it, it's kind of amazing. It's like you can't put words to how, like, you think Steven Tyler, okay, it's Steven Tyler, Aerosmith, okay. But that song was just something amazing. It's like, and it was one of their earliest songs. Because, I mean, a lot of people now are associating it with that like, pop hard rock, right? Love in the Elevator, the Armageddon movie, It wasn't like that back then. They were edgy. And then Dream On just kind of exploded. And it's their best, it's one of their best songs. I mean, I would say it has to be their best song, but you know, but it only reached 59 on the Billboard charts. Only number 59. And how is that even possible? How is that even possible? So, all right. We are at number 51. And number 51 is an anthem. It's an anthem. American Pie by Don McLean, right? I don't know if there's anybody that doesn't know that song. 1971, Don McLean, number one Billboard for 4 weeks. It was also number one in Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. It is preserved in the National Recording Registry in 2017. In the song, there's a lot of things in there, but it's really a memorial for Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, and Richie Valens. When he goes, the day the music died, those three died in a plane crash, and it kind of wiped out like the next generation of stars for music at that point. And when you listen to that word, the words in that song, it's just memorable. It's memorable. So that is number 51. Oh, we're gonna do the top 50 next time. Did I forget to mention that? But yes, that is 100 through 51. The top 50 will be next time on Entertainment Flash. But what all those notes that you guys are leaving me, I'm going to use that for the next one, and I will talk about all those songs that everybody's mentioning here, and we're going to do the top 50. So I'm going to keep you in suspense. But the top 50 are really great. Okay, so don't come at me. Sorry, Chakra. Don't come at me with "You Can Call Me Out." Sorry, that song didn't even get into the top 100. I'm not even sure it would hit top 500 at that point. There's a lot of great songs out there. There's a lot of great music. And I'm suggesting to everybody, take a listen to every single song on this list and let me know what you think for next time. So with that, have a great day, and we will see you next time on Entertainment Flash with the top 50. Take care.